If you are a fan of Persona 5, which you are, because everyone is, and we can't get enough of it, which is why this game has been re-released 27 times in 58 iterations across every possible genre, then you're probably aware of Persona 5 Phantom X, which was a gacha game that was only released in China. And that's crazy because the whole world loves Persona 5. Why did only China get this? Now, it's not only going to be in China. Now it's only going to be in China and Japan and nowhere else. So if you're a fan who's watching this show, that means you're probably able to speak English of some kind, which means you're probably not in Japan. And therefore, you're still not going to be able to play this game. But don't worry, it does look like they are planning to, at some point, eventually release a worldwide version of this game. But that might not be for a while. So the Japanese release has recently been unveiled, but I don't think they've given us a date as to when it'll be available yet. It is coming out, but we don't know when it's going to be available. And they are, like they said, they are planning on doing a worldwide release. Also, I forgot to mention this, and I probably should have. The Japanese release is going to be on Steam, not necessarily on mobiles. They might have a mobile version, but it'll be on Steam. So if you're on PC, you'll be able to play this game, which was originally a mobile game. So that's pretty cool there. And also, because this is a gacha game, like every other gacha game, Zenless Zone Zero, what's the other one? Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, the story just keeps going and going and going. It's not a standalone game, but it does look like they do have an end game in mind and they are ramping up to it. So it does look like they will actually finish, and maybe around the time of the Japanese release, maybe a little bit later after the Japanese release, then the game will be in its entirety. It'll be full. It'll be done. Finally, you can play the whole story and know everything that goes on. By the time the worldwide release comes out, I'm sure that it will probably be done. I don't know if they're going to add little DLC side stories or whatever down the future, but at least you'll have a complete story to play. But again, it is a gotcha game. It is going to be one of those things where you pull for certain characters and certain personas and whatnot and weapons. And so you're not going to be able to just grind through it or like you would in a traditional game. But still, if this is the game that you've been looking forward to and you've been wanting to play the story, definitely looking forward to it. Again, only in Japan and China. Oh, well, in China and only coming to Japan for in the immediate future. But there are plans to bring it to everybody else. And of course, as with every gotcha game and with every Persona game, there are going to be crossovers. So expect to see the Phantom Thieves and everybody else. I don't know what the other groups are called from the other from the other Persona games, but prepare to see all those people showing up to eat up your wallet so that you can just pull a loot box 50,000 times just to make sure that you get Ryuji, who is quite possibly one of the greatest characters of all time.
I suppose Atlas is testing the water since gacha is really much an Asian type of gameplay. If they are making enough money in Japan, then they release worldwide. Otherwise, if it doesn't really work in Japan, maybe there's no point in going worldwide.
It's a possibility. My guess is that because gotcha kind of mechanics are just super popular in Asia in general, but especially China. And if I had to guess, I don't think Atlas themselves are saying we want to make a gotcha game. I think it's that China came to them or some Chinese company or whatever publisher or whatever came to them and they were like, "Hey, here is a sack of cash. Make us a gotcha game." And Atlas was like, "I like money. Okay." And then that's why they did it. I don't think this was originally their plan where they were like, "Hey, we haven't made a gotcha game. Let's do it." No, I think they were definitely planning on probably not even doing it. And then they got the sack of cash and they're like, "Okay, we're going to do this now." And that's why it was only in China for a while. And they're like, "You know what? We have fans all over the world. They'll probably want to play this too. I should probably port it." So yeah, we'll see how that goes.